Okay, I'm recording this video for my students, but if you're not one of my students, you're obviously welcome to watch the video anyway. And what I want to show you is how we can select, first of all, select that we're going to use the internal oscillator and then select the frequency of the oscillator. Now you notice this is the datasheet for the PIC16F88, and you'll notice that there is an internal oscillator block. That's one of the features, and there are 8 user selectable frequencies. So let's start coding. I've already opened up MPLAB-X, made a new project. I'm going to add a new source file, so new, and then just use a simple template like this. And first up, I'm going to set the configuration bits. I'm doing that because I want to specify that we're going to use an internal oscillator, and also that the internal oscillator is going to be configured so that these two pins, RA7, this one RA7 and RA6, that we can actually use those for digital I/O rather than have the clock in and clock out function on those pins. So to set up the configuration bits, we're going to go on to Window, Target Memory Views and Configuration Bits. And if you want, you can make this bigger or smaller. And so here we've got this Fosc field, and with that we can then select what sort of oscillator we want. An external oscillator, those two are externals, these two are internals. If we choose this internal oscillator, then we would have the clock function, so we'd have clock in and clock out on those pins, so we couldn't use them for digital I/O. If I choose the I/O one, so internal oscillator with I/O pin function on those on pins 15 and 16, and that's what we want. Okay, well, most likely what we want anyway, unless you wanted to do something with the clock out. Watchdog timer, I definitely want off. I'm not bothered about any of the others. I'm going to generate the source bits. I will then Control A to select all, Control C to copy, go up into my source code, Control V to paste, and let's just check that assembles correctly, and it does. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do, I've created a basic source file there, which then has a configuration bit set. So we have selected the internal oscillator, but we haven't yet specified the frequency of the oscillator. Now the problem with that is it's going to default to 31 kilohertz. And if we just do Control F, this is in the datasheet now, Control F, and let's just search for OSCCON. That's the oscillator configuration special function register. You'll see it finds this, so you can see that the OSCCON register is in bank 1. And let's just keep on searching, and you'll see then it gives us more information about the OSCCON register. It gives us an address, but we don't need to remember the address. It also shows us that there are 7 bits of the OSCCON register, and the power on values, power on reset or brown out reset, is going to be all zeros. So by default, each one of these bits of the OSCCON register will default to 0. That's really important. You notice there's further details on page 40, so we could go on to page 40 if we wanted. I'll probably just carry on. Hang on, don't want that. Probably just carry on searching. Are we on page 40 yet? We probably are. No, page. Maybe we are. Page 37. Let's carry on down. There we go. Okay, so we're now on page 40, and you'll see in more detail it tells you about the OSCCON special function register. Now, as I said a moment ago, we've got 7 bits that are available. The 8th bit, bit number 7, because remember they are numbered from bit 0 to bit 7, so in other words 8 bits. But these bits here, these 3 bits here, so IRC, F, 0, 1 and 2, so those 3 bits, those ones are the ones that we're going to want to configure because we can use those to specify the internal oscillator frequency. And you'll notice that 000 will give us a frequency of 31.25 kilohertz. Now if you remember, on a power on reset or a brownout reset, these bits will default to all zeros. So if you don't set them yourself, then you're going to have an internal oscillator frequency of 31.25 kilohertz, and then the instruction frequency will be a quarter of that. So whatever frequency you choose, you're always going to have a quarter of it. So if, and this is the most convenient one for us, if we choose an internal oscillator frequency of 4 megahertz, then the instruction frequency will be 1 megahertz. So let's get that configured to start off with. Now, what I would recommend for my students at least doing is to create an initialization subroutine. Now, your subroutines should be in this code block here, so anywhere in there, starting, no, not in there actually, sorry, in this code block here, starting here. You wouldn't want to put them in the code block starting 0 because there's not enough space there. You just put them in this code block somewhere below this because there's more room in the program memory for that. And I'm going to declare a new subroutine now, and you declare it by just making a label. So I'm going to call it, I like to use capitals actually, init, like that. So initialization, it's quite common that programmers just write init. And then I want to then select the bank, the memory bank that contains the OSCCON register. Now you may remember that it was bank 1, so you can select bank 1 by setting the status RP0 bit, but much easier than that. Just do bank cell, which is an assembler directive, OSCCON. So this, if you use bank cell, it's just an easy way to select the correct bank that contains that register. Easiest by far. I think I really would recommend doing that. So after you've done that, you've now selected the correct bank for the oscillator configuration register. And then I'm going to move a literal value into the working file register of binary 0. I like to have 0 there. I'm going to use an 8-bit number, although that 8th bit, this one, bit number 7, isn't actually used. And then I want 110 because 110 is giving me 4 megahertz. And then after that, then I've got another 4 bits to specify. So I'm going to do 0000. You'll notice that this R and W actually mean, if you look on down, it will tell you that some bits are readable, some bits are writable. The fact that this bit is only readable, not writable, is not actually going to cause you a problem at all. You can still attempt to write on it with a 0, it doesn't matter. Don't forget to close a quote. So we open the quote, close the quote. So now all we've done is just moved a literal value into the working file register. And then I'm going to move the working file register into the file named Fosc. I'll get it eventually. There, okay, OSCCON. So what has that done? Well, that has set my internal oscillator to 4 megahertz. Okay, so that is that's exactly what I wanted. Now, what else might we possibly want to do? Well, obviously, your program now, all that it does is it just sets the internal oscillator frequency, so you won't actually notice anything happening. By the way, let's just try and build that just to check that we haven't introduced any syntax errors. Yeah, that's fine. So if that's all you want to know about how to set the oscillator frequency, fine. Of course, we still need a return like that. And we would actually need to call the init subroutine like so. So let's just put a breakpoint in there. So I just clicked over there. I don't know whether you can make that out, but if you click on this, you can add a breakpoint. And this time around, I'm not just going to do the compiling. I'm going to do a build and then run to debug. So I'm going to now click there. And you'll see now the program counter is at this point, so it hasn't actually executed that line yet. Now there are various buttons you can click here, but I like to press F7, which I think is possibly that one. No, step into, it's that one. I always press F7. So if I now press F7, you'll see now the program counter is here. So we're going to do a bank select OSCON. And if you actually hover over some of these things, sometimes it gives you a little preview of what the contents are. There you go. Okay, so you'll see that at the moment the IRCF bits are all 000. So the ICRF, or whatever the bits were called, these ones are all zeros. Okay, now with them being all zeros, the current frequency will be 31.25 megahertz. So if we now press F7, let's go back here. If we now press F7, so we're going to move a literal value into the working file register. And so we then press F7 again, and you'll still see that the register is all zeros. And then if we then press F7, hopefully if we hover over that, then you'll now see that the IRCF bits are now set to 110, and you'll see here, down here, 110 does set our internal oscillator frequency to 4 megahertz. So now if I press F7, let's go back into here. If I now press F7, I've now returned, and I'm now going to execute this continuous loop of go to $, which just means the go to the current contents of the program counter. In other words, itself just repeats itself. Okay, so just to remind you, if you want to use the internal oscillator, first of all you need to set the configuration bits. To do that, you would use window, target memory views, and use configuration bits generator. And then once you've generated it, then you copy and paste it into your source file. Having done that, you then need to set various bits of the OSCON register, in particular the IRCF bits, these 3 bits here. And the easiest way to do that, first of all, do a bank select, so you're in the right bank, then move a literal value, a bit pattern, into the working file register, and then copy the working file register into the OSCON special function register, and then you could return. Now, as I say, this program actually doesn't do anything other than just set the frequency, so probably the next thing you'd want to be doing is, in your initialization routine, maybe configure your tri-state registers to set up your digital input output, and that sort of thing. Okay, but I'll leave that for another video.